When you first arrive in Manila, you might brace yourself for the shock of living costs. You picture sky-high utility bills, endless restaurant tabs, and the kind of grocery receipt that makes you double-check if they accidentally charged you for the person behind you. Then, a few weeks in, you open your first electric bill and laugh. It's often less than what you'd pay just to keep the lights on back home, and that moment flips a switch in your mind. Maybe life here isn't just affordable, maybe it's liberating. But before you pack your bags and expect paradise on pennies, let's be honest. When expenses are tracked line by line over a full month, some things come in lower than expected, while others creep up and catch you off guard. Mistakes happen, and those mistakes cost money, but they don't have to cost you. In this breakdown, you'll see exactly what it takes to live comfortably in the Philippines as an expat. Rent, food, transport, utilities, even the fun stuff. It's all here. By the end, you'll know the real numbers, not the fantasy ones. Before getting into the numbers, it's important to be clear about what comfortable living really means. This isn't about scraping by in the cheapest room you can find or blowing cash like a tourist on vacation. It's about the middle ground, the kind of lifestyle most expats actually settle into once the excitement of arrival fades and daily life begins. Picture this: a one-bedroom apartment in a safe neighborhood with reliable internet fast enough for work calls or streaming. Cooking at home most days, but dining out a few times a week. Not splurging every weekend, but taking the occasional beach trip or domestic flight when the mood strikes. Transportation is simple, whether by rideshare in the city or keeping a scooter for errands. That's the framework here. The costs reflect a single expat, but couples can expect a proportional increase. Rent and housing are the biggest anchors. In Manila, a clean one-bedroom in a decent neighborhood runs around $430 to $600 per month. In Cebu, it's closer to $310 to $490 depending on proximity to the city center. In smaller towns or beach provinces, a similar one-bedroom can go for $175 to $310, especially if you opt for local build standards rather than high-end condos. For two bedrooms, increase those Manila and Cebu numbers by 30 to 50%. Utilities, internet, and phone are manageable if usage stays moderate. Electric bills generally fall around $50 to $85 monthly with regular use of air conditioning, fridge, and lights. More if AC runs all day. Water is usually $8 to $18. Internet in a condo or house runs $20 to $45 per month for work-appropriate speeds, and mobile data packages can be found between $8 to $25 depending on data needs. Transportation costs vary by lifestyle. Public transport, buses, jeeps, tricycles, runs $0.3 to $2 per ride depending on distance. Monthly commuting by public or mixed modes averages $18 to $45. Renting a scooter adds $85 to $140 plus fuel. Rideshares or taxis bump that number up, especially late at night or over long distances. Groceries and food depend on habits. A single person buying mid-range ingredients might spend $105 to $175 per month. Eating out a few times a week adds another $50 to $105. Those who eat out more often save by choosing market food and local spots rather than imported or luxury restaurants. Health and insurance are mixed. Routine clinic visits run $8 to $35. Hospital visits depend heavily on whether you choose public or private. Many expats purchase health insurance plans around $25 to $55 monthly depending on coverage and age. Emergencies are more costly but still a fraction of Western prices, particularly at reputable local hospitals. Life here goes beyond rent and groceries. Entertainment and eating out can be as light or heavy as you choose. A dinner with drinks at a mid-range restaurant may cost $18 to $35, and doing that weekly adds up. For those more social, budgeting $105 to $175 per month for nightlife or dining with friends is common. Weekend trips are another expense that sneaks in. Domestic flights can be under $50 round trip, but when you add hotels, meals, and activities, a weekend on an island like Palawan or Siargao can easily reach $175 to $260. Hobbies vary. Gym memberships are $25 to $55 monthly, while activities like diving lessons cost more but offer unique experiences. Local classes or sports may not be expensive individually, but they add value to daily life. And don't forget unexpected costs. Visa extensions, deposits, short Airbnb stays during maintenance, or one-time household purchases. Having a buffer of $85 to $140 each month helps keep surprises stress-free. So what's the total? For a comfortable lifestyle, a one-bedroom in a safe neighborhood, stable internet, eating out occasionally, and a weekend trip now and then, you're looking at $1,000 to $1,400 per month. For perspective, a bare-bones lifestyle, small apartment outside the city, mostly cooking at home, little travel, can be done for $600 to $800 per month. A luxury light lifestyle, 2-bedroom condo in Manila, dining at expat restaurants, frequent flights, lands closer to $1,700 to $2,000 per month. The key is knowing which costs are fixed rent, utilities, visas, and which are lifestyle choices dining out. Compared to the US or Europe, where rent alone can exceed an entire Philippine budget, many expats feel like they've upgraded their quality of life while actually spending less. A few tips make a big difference. Negotiating rent is expected and pays off long-term. Choosing neighborhoods just outside the city center can cut housing costs dramatically without losing convenience. A scooter often proves cheaper and faster than daily ride shares. Checking which internet provider actually delivers in your building prevents headaches. Shopping at local markets rather than relying on imported products can reduce grocery bills while keeping standards high. But there are cautions. Private hospitals are pricier, so insurance is wise. Visa extensions are easy but recurring, so build them into the budget. And remember, unexpected costs always appear. Living in the Philippines can be both affordable and rewarding if you approach it realistically. So, what would your budget look like? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective.